Hey guys, what's going on? This week on Jay Speak, we cover questions. First question, who has a better master volume, Friedman or Marshall? Friedman for sure. I think anybody that has ever played a Marshall and a Friedman amp will tell you that Friedman has a wonderful master volume. I don't think anyone can compete with it in the current market. It's unbelievable how good those amps sound at extremely low volume, and they just get better as you turn them up. A lot of Marshalls, and it's not all Marshalls, but a lot of Marshalls need volume to assist in sounding better. The Astoria line sounds great. They sound okay at low volume, but they sound way better cranked up. It's the same thing with like the Jubilees. They need volume, and once you give them volume, they sound amazing, but at low volume, they don't sound as great. They're not as full. It's not that sound that you really want. It's just not there. It sounds okay. I guess if you just want to practice, you can totally use a Marshall amp. They do require some volume. Friedman's, on the other hand, they don't really need volume to sound better. Obviously, there's that little point in the beginning where it's so low you can barely hear it, but if you just, I mean, at 1, it sounds awesome. At 2, like volume 2, which is like, what, 7, 8 o'clock, it sounds wonderful. But even through a 212, it's loud. I mean, you get to 4, 10, 11 o'clock, it's loud. Much beyond that, I mean, you're talking live levels, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, it depends which amp, if it's a 50 or 100 watt, but yeah. Question 2, what do I think of Friedman pickups? This question came from a demo where I compared a Gibson pickup against a Friedman pickup and a Gibson non-reverse Firebird. A 57 Classic Plus up against the Friedman Classic Plus are supposedly both like PAF based, whatever. The plus stands for a little more edge to the sound. You know, I think they're both different. The Friedman sounded a little more clear, was a little more aggressive, different mid-range than a Gibson. Now that's in a Gibson guitar. I also have a HSS Strat that is all Friedman pickups, but it's 2 single coils and then the Classic Plus in the bridge. I really like their pickups. I think all around, I really like Friedman guitars. I think they feel great. I think they play wonderful. I mean, they're a bit expensive, but when you look at some like Gibson's prices, and if you're like a real Les Paul head or anything like that, they're comparable. I mean, it's basically the same price. And to me, you're getting a more custom-made guitar than a production run guitar, which, you know, Gibson, I think for all their good strides over the last couple years are still lacking from what I have seen. I'm not saying every guitar is garbage or has an issue, because it's not. It's not true. There's some really great Gibsons I've played. Just in general, over the span of 30 manufacturer years, there's been some great examples. I'm not bashing Gibson by any means, but I don't think they are as consistent as some other manufacturers I have purchased and or played. So I've tried various pickups from Friedman in their guitars. The only one I have not been able to try is the Triple D. From the description I've read, I kind of think it's like a take on like Gibson's Dirty Fingers humbucker, which is kind of cool. It's a more high output aggressive pickup, so that could be a lot of fun to try, and I really want to try one of those. I know Mike Nielsen demoed one, and he did it like the whole Friedman pickup line, which I think is a fantastic video. You should check that out. But I mean, you should check out his stuff anyway, because he's an awesome player and he does some really cool stuff. That's the only one I haven't tried. I've tried the classic P90s. They're okay. They're not my favorite P90. I kind of like Gibson's better. It really just depends. Like, the mid-ranges are very different in Friedman pickups to Gibson pickups. And I don't think it's a bad thing. They just sound different. The single coil stuff in a Telecaster and Strat, wonderful. I haven't tried a bridge Strat pickup because, again, the Friedman Strat I have is an HSS. Classic pickups, Classic Plus pickups, they're wonderful. If you need a replacement pickup, I would definitely try a Friedman if you don't want to shell out the money and get a Friedman guitar. All that being said, I think it's important to recognize the guitar and how it's built, and sometimes there's just a magical guitar and it almost doesn't matter what you put in it, it sounds wonderful. And then there's other guitars where you could change pickups 20 times and it's like marginal differences. It's unbelievable because one pickup could sound great clean, another one sounds great dirty, but you can't get a good mix of both. It's interesting. The other day I was watching some Gibson videos and I found one of Brian Bell from Weezer talking about an Explorer he found in Rivers' basement. He mentioned he didn't even know if Rivers knew he found the guitar, and it's been one that he's been using live for years, which is hilarious to me. Again, sometimes there's just certain guitars react to you as a player and they just sound great. It could be unconventional. It could not be the thing that you love the most, like if you love 335s or whatever, or if you love Strats and you end up picking up a Telecaster you bond with, that could be it. It's just, that guitar works. Now, I think, unfortunately, for guitar players, we think, oh, well, I'm going to buy 27 more Telecasters, and that'll be better. Well, the problem is when you start buying multiples of things, you start comparing them, and then they're all not as good as the original. Or one might be marginally better, or like I said, one's better with clean or dirt. And sorry, I got off on a tangent, but that's what happens, though. You start going down a path, and it kind of gets different. A little different than what you started out trying to pursue. It happens. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.